बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज की इस वीडियो के अंदर बिल्डिंग कोड ऑफ पाकिस्तान फायर सेफ्टी प्रोविजन 2016 chapter 4 general requirements. We deal with the general requirements. Let's start the journey with the FPAP and Torpedo Safety Academy. Before going towards that, I would like to attribute to these my leaders and my colleagues who guided me towards the building code of Pakistan. Thank you very much, to Sabar Hussain Babar. You are the number one, I think so. And then Asad Hussain Shah, and then after that Fawad Bari. I'm inspired by the this gentleman, the CEO of Hasina Bay Trading Private Limited. Thank you very much, sir. And then Federal Civil Defense School, Karachi, Sashir. You are also sport for me, and Sir Tariq Moin. Yes, this gentleman is also very sporting and encouraging. Thank you, sir, all of you. Thank you very much. Let's go towards the general safety requirements. General requirements of this will go through these areas: goals and objectives, fundamental requirements, general requirements, and then zones. Different types of zones are there, which are very much necessary. Which are very much necessary to separate uh, area and city and organization into different fire safety zones. Then changing in fire safety zone, their boundaries, overlapping fire zones, then temporary buildings and other all that. One by one, we will keep on studying and keep on watching and learning what are there in that. So let's go. Goals. The goal of these provisions, this provision 2016 provision, shall be to provide a reasonable level of safety, property protection, and public awareness from hazards created by the fire. From hazards created by the fire. Yes, fire is very much touchy area. बर्न कर देती है, जला के रख देती है, भस्म कर देती है, खत्म कर देती है. चोरी हो जाना एक पर्सनल लॉस है, एक इंडिविजुअल लॉस है, लेकिन जल जाना एक नेशनल लॉस है. इसलिए किसी भी चीज को हमने जलने नहीं देना, और इंसानों को तो हमने वैसे नहीं जलने देना, ना अंदर से ना बाहर से, ना ज़हनी तौर पे ना जिस्मानी तौर पे. लेट्स गो टूवर्ड्स द सेफ्टी टू. These provisions shall provide life safety by reducing the probability of injury or death from fire. ये दोनों चीजें, लेवल ऑफ फायर प्रोटेक्शन देना है, प्रॉपर्टी को पब्लिक अवेयरनेस देनी है, पब्लिक इंफॉर्मेशन करनी है फायर सेफ्टी के लिए. देन प्रोविजन is also providing the life safety by reducing how we will reduce. There are a number of things we will discuss to reduce the probability of injury and death from the fire. Fundamental requirements are multiple safeguards. We will discuss about the multiple safeguards. Appropriateness of these safeguards, how they are appropriate to according to the occupancy, the type, the requirement in the workplace and the organization. Then means of egress we will discuss. In the mean of egress, we will discuss unobstructed egress. Awareness of egress, we will how we are giving to the occupants and employees. Then lighting arrangements within the egress, who will do that and who will ensure that. Occupants notification, if something has happened and no one is knowing what has happened, then notification and information of that disaster or incident, what has happened on the left side, on the right side, anywhere in the organization. Vertical openings. Then system design and installation. System design and installation is also important. Designing is not a job of kids. Designing and installation of systems is very much important and critical and professional area. Without proper designing, if you will install fire protection systems like detection and alarm, fire hydrant system, pumps, sprinklers, suppressions, clean agent, you may have bigger problems. You have to consult with somebody. Consultancy is very much essential. Then we will go towards general requirements. According to the AHD, they will decide what is needed in our organization. Then historic structure and culture we will discuss. But importantly, here you have to focus. Fire certificate 4.3.1 of this chapter. Article 4.3 general requirement, then 4.3.3. Keep in mind 4.3.3 fire certificates, then construction, repair and improvement operations. Yes, important. Then escape facilities. Which type of escape facilities are in newly constructed buildings and under construction buildings we have to focus. Then inspection, testing, and maintenance of all the protection systems. We have to focus on both the areas, inspection and maintenance. Then fire zones. Fire zones are also important. Their demarcation, their limitations, their boundaries, and number and designation of the fire zones. We will discuss in that, especially fire zone number one, fire zone number two, fire zone number three. Why we are giving these titles and these designations to the fire zones, and if and some changes occur in their boundaries, if some go towards overlap, which will be the considered, and their terminology will come into the temporary building and structure is also very much important. Then a restriction on types of construction. Demarcation, area under the jurisdiction, yes, jurisdiction, which is a bit problematic area. Anyhow, we will discuss in when we will discuss the AHJs. The area under the jurisdiction of AHJ be demarcated into distinct zone based on the fire hazard inherent in the area, especially focus on that, according to the occupancy, which shall be called fire zones. Fire zone number one, fire zone number two, fire zone number. According to the fire hazard, we will give them fire zone number one. This area having assembly, educational, healthcare, daycare, residential, detention, correctional, mercantile buildings means low fire hazard is there. So this area, this zone is called bit safer than. So we have to, even then we have to make arrangements. We shouldn't overlook this area. This is also important because families are living in residential areas. Students are there in educational areas. Patients are there in healthcare areas. And correctional areas prisoners are there. And assembly areas, people who are not well aware of. Even families are coming in the assembly areas. So mercantile areas are also customers and suppliers and different peoples are coming over there and visiting. Fire zone number two. This shall comprise business and industrial buildings, except high hazard industrial buildings. So this is the moderate, this is the medium fire hazard zone, zone number two. Even then we have to make more and more arrangements. Now we are going towards fire zone number three. This shall comprise areas having high hazardous industrial buildings, high hazardous buildings, industrial buildings, storage buildings. There are a number of storage, liquid storage, solid storage, and gaseous storage buildings. We have to be very touchy appropriately and accordingly we have to make arrangements. Oils are there and liquids are there, we have to make arrangements, and even as per NFPA 30 we have to go, and other solid storage are also demanding the fire safety requirements, and industrials buildings and industrial occupancies, they are also very much means high fire hazardous zone. As per Building Code of Pakistan, fire zone number 1, 2, and 3 are there. If somebody is having practice of blue zone, green zone, yellow zone, and red zone, okay, it's okay. But as per, if you will go towards Building Code of Pakistan, he is giving the designation and jargons and titles to these zones as per their fire safety requirements and occupancy classification. Fire certificate, very much important area. The owner who? The owner shall obtain from where? From AHJ. When? After every 3 years. Then what will be in that certificate? The fire certificate shall attest that building features, systems, and use. Three main areas and having multiple sub areas, feature, system, and use have been inspected and confirmed. Inspected and confirmed to remain consistent with code specification. Building Code of Pakistan Fire Safety Provision 2016. Who is issuing? who is obtaining, if there is in tehsil or in union council, union council, will tehsil, will district, will uh, civil defense, who number of AHJs are there, and this is a chaos is there. Then come towards the maintenance, inspection, and testing. Yes, this standard uh, imposes the duty that any device, equipment, system, condition, arrangement, level of protection, fire resistive construction shall thereafter be continuously maintained. Be continuously maintained. For the maintenance, you have to have certified people, you have to have qualified people, experienced people, competent people, staff, and you have to have procedures. Then you have to keep records and different types of information you have to gather. Equipment चाहिए जी, then maintenance होती है. This is not the easy way, it's not a game of kids. Then any device, equipment, system, condition, arrangement, level of protection, fire resistive construction, or any other feature requiring periodic inspection and testing, monthly हो, quarterly हो, biannually हो, annually हो, 5 annually हो, you have to have the periodic inspection and testing. Again, certified, qualified, and experienced and competent staff is needed. Procedures are needed, recommended procedure, approved procedure, and you have to keep the record of all that. So ये भी बिल्डिंग्स के अंदर होना होता है, होना चाहिए. कर कौन रहा है, दैट्स अनदर थिंग. और उसके ना करने को पकड़ कौन रहा है, दैट्स अनदर थिंग. बट मोस्टली हो रहा है, मोस्टली इन आवर कंट्री थिंग्स हैव बीन स्टार्टेड. अच्छा पक्का काम हो रहा है, बट इट्स नीड मोर एंड मोर फोकस्ड एंड स्पेशलाइज्ड एंड प्रोफेशनल. देन मल्टीपल सेफगार्ड्स. नॉट ओनली पोर्टेबल फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर रखे, गाड़ी चला दी, बस ठीक है चलेगा जी, इतनी बड़ी फैक्ट्री बनाई, सिर्फ पोर्टेबल फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर रख दिए, नो नेवर, या कोई एक सिस्टम लगा दिया. डिफेंस इन डेप्थ स्ट्रेटजी होगी, अप्रोप्रिएटनेस ऑफ द सेफगार्ड्स होगी. उनके सेफगार्ड्स, एवरी बिल्डिंग शैल हैव प्रोवाइडेड विद मींस ऑफ इग्रेस एंड अदर सेफगार्ड्स. मींस ऑफ इग्रेस तो देने ही देने हैं, कुछ भी नहीं हो, बंदे निकालते वहां से, जलती है जल जाए, खत्म हो जाए, मर जाए, और सुहागा बन जाए. सुहागा में समझ ऐश बनता है, बन जाए, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट insani Jan is the prominent. Then other safeguards of the kind, numbers, location, and capacities appropriate to जो आपकी इंडिविजुअल बिल्डिंग है, लाइक वेराइटी है ऑक्यूपेंसी की, आपकी ऑक्यूपेंसी के मुताबिक, आपकी वर्क प्लेस के मुताबिक किस किस्म के लगने चाहिए, कितनी तादाद में लगने चाहिए, कहाँ कहाँ लगने चाहिए, किस कैपेसिटी के लगने चाहिए. यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन दैट काइंड, नंबर, लोकेशन, कैपेसिटी, individual building. Then to prevent, detect, and contain, after that extinguish the fire. Prevention again will go towards special attributes and specialty. Then detection, then containment. Containment के लिए fire doors हो, fire resistant materials हो, fire rated paints हो, और भी जो arrangements हो सकते हैं containment के लिए, you may focus and extinguish the fire. Again, fire protection systems are needed while ensuring the safe evacuation. जब उन्हें safe evacuation को भी ensure करना है, तो ये सारी चीजें आपके लिए आएंगी. Multiple safeguardings, defense in depth strategy. This effective fire safety is a collaborative effort. Collaborative effort, not a one-man show. It's a collaborative effort involving active firefighting, passive firefighting, active, passive, and behavioral measures. So behavior is also very, very much important. People have to participate willingly, not forcefully. So regulated by the codes, like the international building code, someone may follow, and then national building codes. Every country and area has its own national building codes. They have to focus on that. Then there's some of the things: prevention, proactive measures, prevention, early detection and communication. If thing will be detected, should be communicated. Detection is there but no communication, then it's not that much then it's not that much fruitful. Then containment and passive fire protection. Containment and passive, before going into the disaster, you may kill the fire at its initial stage. Then active suppression, yes. After that, evacuation of the occupants. Evacuation is very much important. You have to make a culture, safety culture, assembly points, but before assembly points you have to give the evacuation routes, their identification and all the system over there. Operational management and safety culture, incident command center, you have to have floor wardens, crowd management system and crowd managers should be there. Safety culture you have to prevail. In this way you can protect your uh, building and the workplace. Number of layers should be there, not a single layer. In this way you can save your area, and especially if you are working in a HSE department, in fire safety department, you have to focus all these 7 layers of fire safety in the building: prevention, detection, early suppression, evacuation, compartmentation, structural safety, and then firefighting. Everything have its start and end, and in between execution and repair, maintenance and training and all that for the firefighters and for the general employees. Never compromise on these, and keep on saying, keep on focusing, keep on informing. Characteristics of the occupancy, कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ द ऑक्यूपेंट्स, कुछ ऑक्यूपेंट्स हैं उनकी कैपेबिलिटी कैसी है, आपने वर्कआउट करना है। कस्टमर्स हैं, स्टूडेंट्स हैं, पेशेंट्स हैं, एम्प्लॉयज हैं, क्या लेवल है, मैनेजर्स हैं, सुपरवाइजर्स हैं, वर्कर्स हैं, गार्डनर्स हैं, ड्राइवर्स हैं, खाकरूब हैं और नायब कासद हैं, कौन है। कॉम्पिटेंसीज, कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ द ऑक्यूपेंट्स, आपके अपने फायर फाइटर्स की क्या कॉम्पिटेंसी है, एंड द नंबर ऑफ पर्सन एक्सपोज्ड, फायर प्रोटेक्शन अवेलेबल। अब बस अरेंजमेंट्स हैं क्या भाई साहब आपके हाथ में है क्या, आप ये तो बताएं। व्हाट अबाउट फायर एक्सटिंग्विशर्स या फायर नोज होजेस एंड नोजल्स, आपने कहीं प्रोटेक्शन के डिफरेंट सिस्टम लगाए हैं, आपने कहीं वाटर मिस्ट का सिस्टम लगाया हुआ है, क्लीन एजेंट नोवे का सिस्टम कहीं आपके पास अवेलेबल है, तो यू हैव टू डिमांड फॉर दैट। कैपेबिलिटीज ऑफ द पर्सनल, रिस्पांस पर्सनल, कैपेबिलिटी ऑफ द रिस्पांस पर्सनल, आपके जो फायर रिस्पॉन्डर्स हैं, हाउ मच कॉम्पिटेंट दे आर, हाउ मच क्वालिफाइड दे आर, उनकी ट्रेनिंग, continuous training, annually training, refreshers, height and type of the construction of the building. Then other factors necessary to provide the reasonable degree of safety. Other means area specific. If your organization is the specific one and you are needing like nuclear hai, oil installations hai, and fertilizers hai, if something like that, you have to be very touchy about that requirements which are area specific requirements. Other factors necessary to protect the building and contents from the damage. Building contents को भी मैं बताऊंगी कि what are the building contents, and this is all about means of egress. Means of egress having a special proper chapter number 10 for the means of egress, but यहाँ पर भी chapter number 4 के अंदर basic requirements के अंदर लिया है, we have to follow them. Then अनअब्स्ट्रक्टेड होनी चाहिए, अवेयरनेस होनी चाहिए पब्लिक को, लोगों को लाइट होनी चाहिए उनके अंदर, और नोटिफिकेशन होना चाहिए कि जो प्रॉब्लम हुई है, और वर्टिकल ओपनिंग्स हो या अदर सिस्टम इंस्टॉलेशंस हो। देन जी नंबर एंड डेजिग्नेशन ऑफ फायर जोन्स, number of fire zones in an area under the jurisdiction depends on इस चीज के ऊपर जी, the existing layout, then type of the building construction, then classification of existing building based on the occupancy, ये सारी चीजें होंगी। तो then city area, factory and your workplace, your mall and your bank, you can classify them, you can identify the fire zone number 1, fire zone number 2, fire zone number 3, like that, as per the building code of Pakistan. Here building contents are all non-permanent movable items inside the property that are not part of the structural fabric, not part of the structure, okay, जो RCC structure है, they are not part of that. This typical includes furniture, appliances, electronics, clothing, personal belongings. Thank you very much. पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद, पढ़ते रहिए, बढ़ते रहिए, और रीडर्स आर लीडर्स, इस अपनी तरक्की के सफर को जारी रखिए। इंशाल्लाह मिलते हैं एक नई वीडियो के साथ। बिल्डिंग कोड ऑफ पाकिस्तान का सफर अब शुरू हो चुका है पूरे जोरों के साथ। हमारे साथ रहिए, दूसरों को मिलाते रहिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच। अल्लाह हाफिज।